Hi everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching today's video. Today's video is called Flowers That Are Toxic for Cats. It turns out most of my favorite Easter and spring flowers can be toxic to my new kitten Whiskers. So with spring coming and Easter approaching, I just wanted to share this information with you. If you have a cat, you do need to know that there are certain flowers and plants that can be toxic to your cat, and you may be surprised at some of these flowers that are on the list. Now hang with me because we're going to go over several things in today's video. We're going to talk about a list of common flowers that could be toxic to your cat. We're going to talk about some flowers that are not toxic to your cat. I'm going to give you some resources. I'm going to give you the number for ASPCA'S Poison Control Center. We're going to talk about what are the symptoms that your cat has been poisoned by eating a flower. I'm going to give you some additional resources from the ASPCA. They have a complete and exhaustive list of all of the plants and flowers that can be toxic to your cat. So I hope that today's video informs you and makes sure that you only have plants and flowers in your house that are safe for your cat. So again, thanks so much for joining me. If you find today's video helpful, please give it a like. It does help YouTubers when you do that. If you've not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own the website PeopleLovingAnimals.com. We are going to use this article called Flowers That Are Toxic for Cats to guide us through today's video. I'm going to give you a link to this article in the description box, and I'm also going to give you links to the things that I've mentioned and anything that we mentioned during the video. Now, as I said, my 8-month-old kitten, if you've been watching my cat videos lately, I adopted a feral kitten several months ago. His name is Whiskers. And ever since I've had him, he has been obsessed with a small potted pine tree that I've had in my house for more than 10 years. He's been digging in the pot. He's been chewing on the branches. He's been pulling pieces off of the tree to chew on. I did buy him a catgrass plant. I'm going to give you a link to that to try to distract him. He does like the catgrass, but he also still is obsessed with the tree. Now, I have never had cats before that paid any attention to plants, let alone chewed on any sort of plant. So this was new for me. So now if spring is coming, I want to start getting some spring flowers to put in the house. So I thought, well, I better check and make sure that these are okay for him, because what if he is obsessed with those too, right? Well, I was very disappointed to find out that not only are almost all of my favorite spring flowers dangerous for cats, but the pine tree is as well. Now, I had heard in the past, like, don't let your cat drink out of the water if you have a real Christmas tree. It can make them sick. Like years and years ago, I remember hearing that. I don't ever have a real Christmas tree, so I guess it just left my mind. It just never dawned on me this time around. But yesterday I gave away the tree. And now I'm going to be limited on what flowers I can have in the house from now on. So again, with spring and Easter approaching, I just wanted to share this information with other cat owners. Now, here are some common flowers that are toxic to cats. And also, you should know that just chewing on some plants can be enough to cause toxicity in cats. They don't necessarily have to eat or ingest the plant to be poisoned. And again, I'm going to give you a list to ASPCA's complete list of plants and flowers that are poisonous to cats. So if you have a plant or a flower in your house you're not sure of, you can go ahead and check that list. But here are some of the common ones. True lilies and daylilies, and that would include your Easter lilies, okay? Daffodils, hyacinths, kalanchoe, I don't even know how to pronounce that one, azalea, hydrangeas, tulips, oleander, lily of the valley, chrysanthemums, also known as mums, poinsettias, and daisies. Now, I was really disappointed because tulips, daffodils, lilies, azaleas, hyacinths is my favorite spring flower. So I'm really disappointed to find out that all of these could be toxic for Whiskers if I have them in the house. Now, the good news for me is that at least, well, I'm going to talk later about some that are not poisonous, and one of them is lilacs. And thank God, at least lilacs is one of my favorites that I can have in the house. But I'm going to talk in a little bit about some of the ones that are safe. Now, symptoms of flower poisoning in cats, depending on the amount ingested and the type of flower, symptoms can range from mild to fatal. Plants can kill your cats, okay? Some symptoms include excessive salivation, mouth irritation, vomiting, and diarrhea. Some plants can cause liver or kidney damage, along with other serious health issues, including death. The symptoms are not always immediately obvious and sadly may not become noticeable until the damage is untreatable and permanent. And also keep in mind, if you didn't already know this, cats in the wild are prey. So it is their natural instinct to hide illness. Okay, so that's just an extra important point that you need to know as a cat owner. Now, I do normally not suggest to you that you go off to somebody else's YouTube channel and watch their video, but I'm going to suggest it here. There's a video by Jackson Galaxy. If you don't know him, he's considered a cat expert. He had a TV show on Animal Planet, and he did a really nice video about toxic plants for cats. So I'm going to give you the link to that, and I do suggest that you go ahead and watch that too, because he's got some additional information in his video that I won't have here in mine, okay? Now, some of the flowers that are safe for cats, you should know that cats can get an upset stomach or diarrhea if they eat flowers, if they eat plants, even if it's not toxic, okay? But the following flowers are generally considered safe for cats. Again, lilacs, and apparently lilacs have a bitter taste, so the cats really aren't interested in them. I'm really glad about that, because that is one of my favorite flowers, and I'm glad I can at least cut a few of them and have them in the house. Roses, sunflowers, petunias, camellias, snapdragons, and most orchids. Now, again, refer to that ASPCA'S flower list if you have any flowers that you want to have in the house that you're not sure of. But here's some. Now, the other consolation prize, I guess, or plan B, at least for me, is I do have a patio. I have sliding glass doors and I have a patio, and I always have flowers out there. And I do also have some spring bulbs out there. So, I think we're just going to have our spring flowers and our bulbs outside, have them maybe outside of a window or even in a window box so that we can see them from inside our homes. But I think we're going to have to stick to having the spring flowers outside. But if you have an outdoor cat, remember, if your cat walks around in your flower beds, even occasionally, let alone all the time, keep this in mind, right? Now, for more detailed information, I want to give you some resources here, and then hang with me because I got a few more things to tell you. First of all, if you're in doubt about any plant, or if you suspect that your cat may have been exposed or ingested a toxic plant, contact your veterinarian, or you can contact the ASPCA Poison Control Center. I'm going to read the number in case any of you are listening and not watching the video. It is 888-426-4435. Now, I got a lot of the information for today's video in my post that I wrote for my website from an article on greatpetcare.com and also an article on PetMd.com. I'm going to give you a link to both of those articles in the description box. They give more information than what I'm covering in today's video. And the PetMd article has pictures of the different flowers. So I find that helpful because some of these I'm not sure what they are, or if you have flowers that you're not sure what they're called, the PetMd article might be helpful because they do show pictures. I also want to give a disclaimer in this video that I am not a veterinarian. I am not an expert on this topic. I do ask you to please refer to credible sources, the ASPCA, for example, to get accurate and up-to-date information. Now, my mother always said, when in doubt, don't. And I think it is just such a great piece of advice, and it really is relevant here. I found it interesting, by the way, when I was researching to write this post for my website, that some flowers were listed by some sources as toxic to cats, and then they were listed by other sources as not toxic to cats. Two examples are catnip and daisies. I found some resources said that these are toxic, some resources said that they are not. So apparently, even experts' opinions can vary on the topic. So my advice, if you love and care about your cats as much as I love and care about Whiskers, is don't risk it. If you're not sure, err on the side of caution and don't have that flower or plant in your house. Again, the rule of thumb, in my opinion, is if in doubt, don't. All right? Couple more things before we go. If you've not been here before, you don't know, I donate to animal charities. I do peoplelovinganimals.com as my job, and I donate 10% of all of the commissions that I earn on the website and also on this YouTube channel to animal charities. And if you go to the homepage of my website, peoplelovinganimals.com, you will see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So again, thank you so much for watching today's video. I would love it if you would comment below and let me know if there's any flowers on this list that you, like me, were shocked to find out that is dangerous for your cat. Like I said, all the years that I have owned cats, I have never had one that showed any interest in plants or flowers in my house. Whiskers is the first one. He's obsessed with that pine tree. And you know, thank God he was, because I found out that I shouldn't have the pine tree in the house. And now I have found out that I got to be more careful about what plants and flowers I put in my house because they can be toxic to him. So I hope so much that I've helped. Please drop a comment. Please like the video if you found it helpful. And please go ahead and share this channel with your friends and family who have a dog or a cat. I do several videos a month all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. So if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and get on board. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And again, please share it because your friends and family who have pets might appreciate this type of information as well. So everybody, happy spring. Be safe. Thanks again so much for watching. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.